Welcome to Fit for Life with Karen. Guess what we're going to do today? We're going to stretch and strengthen with yoga. I bet some of you have taken a yoga class. Maybe some of you practice yoga. It doesn't hurt to do it every day, but you don't have to. Some people do it in the morning. I wouldn't do it right after eating. We want that tummy to be relaxed, no noises and discomfort there. So it is just wonderful, and it does strengthen. And it really does stretch the body because you're doing all kinds of movements, and we stay in those movements sometimes for quite a long time. Yoga can stretch, strengthen. It massages your internal organs because you're in different positions. So you're just getting them moving a little bit inside here. It creates energy. It can also create relaxation, as you know, and we use the yoga breath for that. And if you're a high stress person, high anxiety or high stress, you gotta take yoga. You have to do it. It really does help. It's pleasant, and it makes you feel like you're really doing something good for yourself. It can lower blood pressure if you do it enough. You know, there's a meditative side, whether you just sit quietly and do that yoga breathing. It can focus your mind, make you think clearer. And as we age, we really need that. Our short-term memory isn't always the best. It also improves sleep, especially the yoga breathing. As far as doing yoga before bed, I'm sure some people do, but I don't know. I think it might wake me up a little bit. But the yoga breathing is always good, and sometimes I lie in bed and I can't sleep. Sometimes I'm too tired to do the breathing, but I do find when I can do it, it does help. It calms you. So the benefits are, slowing the heart rate also. Some people get little flutters. If you get too many flutters and you don't feel good, always see your doctor. But it calms the mind and the body for sleep. We all know that. And as far as blood pressure, almost all of us are on medication. So sometimes we can go off with, eating right, exercising. If you don't ever try it, unless, again, you talk to your doctor. I don't want to give you any bad information. So we're going to do some seated yoga. Now, we don't get down on the floor, but we can still do some very effective movements. And there's something called Salute to the Sun, and that's done standing, and then down on the floor, and then getting up again. It's a little bit more intricate than what we're doing, but we're going to do our own version of it. So come forward in your chair. Much easier. Open those feet a little bit. Just drop forward. Good. And just bring those arms up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Good. Raise those arms. Open them up a little bit. Really reach and really reach. Good. Clasp your hands very gently. And then we're going to come forward again. Let's grab our ankles this time. Try to flatten your back out rather than rounding it over. Keep it flat, if possible. Holding on to your ankles. Let's try one more salute to the sun. And all the way up. Good. And reach up again. Grab your wrist, pull that arm up, and get a really good stretch. And this is where the stretching comes in, doesn't it? And then the other side. All right, and then sit up nice and straight. We're going to do something called the cat. It's called the cat-cow, and I've heard a couple of other names for it, but we'll just call it the cat today. Hands on your knees. Your feet are apart just a little bit. Don't let the shoulders do this, and don't let that chin drop down. Pull yourself up nice and straight. You can actually breathe better. Isn't that wonderful? Kind of pull in front of your knees. Good. As I said, nice and straight. Let's do a little turn with your head. And then to the other side, nice and easy. Good. And then we'll come back to center. Great. All right, now let's do the opposite. You're going to drop your chin down. We're going to have really bad posture now. Lift those shoulders up, round your back. You've seen cats that they round their back and then they stretch this way and then they stretch that way, and it feels so good. So next time your cat does this, you'll say, I can do it too, right? So this is the yoga cat. Again, let's do the opposite of this. You're going to drop your chin down, lift your shoulders up, pull your abdomen in just a little bit so you can tighten this area. Don't stop breathing. Now when you come up this time, you're going to breathe up through your nose. Again, pulling those shoulders down, nice and tall, perfect posture. Pull that chin right in. Remember, 2 fingers on the chin, very gently. This is where you should be, not here. And then what happens? That head is forward, the upper back comes up like this, and you have poor posture, and we don't want that, right? All right. Let's just do some more head and neck exercises. I know we do a lot of that. We've already done dropping the chin down. And then you're going to bring your head back up. Good. Looking at the ceiling, hands still on your knees. Now let's turn that head a little bit. And then to the other side, slowly. Good. If you hear any really strange noises, or if it hurts, you're going to stop. And then you'll bring your head back. Good. Let's do the ear drop. So you'll stretch the side of your neck. How does that feel? I don't know if this is as comfortable as the others. Bring your head up and then, good. Drop it down. And then bring your head back up. One more time up. Let's breathe up through the nose as we lift up. Holding and then breathing out as you drop that head down. Let's just drop the head down and leave your shoulders down. We're not going to arch the back right now. Not right at this moment. Good. And then we'll bring the head back up. Wonderful. Now I'm going to do something called the 4 spinals. Now you might say, well, that doesn't sound like yoga, but there's a lot of these movements in yoga. So we're going to come forward again. Make sure you're not falling off the chair, but you want to come forward. Now the spine can flex. We've done this one before. Spinal flexion. Grab those ankles again. Keep your head up if you have to. How does that feel on your mid-back, your lower back? I can feel it. Keep that head up. Good. Now you're going to come back up slowly. Clasp your hands together. And we're going to do spinal extension. So bring those arms back. Pull up. Let go and just reach up. Way up with one arm and then way up with the other arm. Good. All right. Let's do another one. One more flexion. Coming forward. Just drop the arms down this time. Keep that head up if you need to. And then we'll come back up. All right. Why don't you give yourselves a hug? Grab those shoulders. Good stretch. Good stretch. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll do a little turn here. So we're stretching from the waist up, the hips, all the way up. What a nice stretch this is. I love this. Great. Now I'm going to give you another way to stretch your back. Especially your shoulders and your upper back. And it's called the pigeon. It's usually done on the floor. And actually it's not the pigeon. I was thinking of what we're going to do next. This is called the hug. I just call it the hug, that's all. Pull yourself forward again, keeping that head up. Great. And then we'll come back up. This is called the eagle. Elbow over elbow, just like this. Good. Now you're going to switch. Now this maybe isn't too bad, but what I'd like you to do is bring those hands together. Just see if you can touch your thumb or index finger, or just do this. Whatever you can do is great. I'm going to maybe grab my thumb here a little bit. Can you feel your back stretching? I think you can. And if you cannot do it, even if you just do this, it's great. So we'll switch. And this side is a little easier for me. And I heard something in my shoulder there, so I'm not sure what that means, but I suppose we'll find out eventually, right? So this is called the eagle. It's usually done standing up, and you're doing this kind of a thing with your legs. So you're like this, you're like a pretzel, and you're just standing there. So I'm not going to give you that. You should be happy about that. But that's called the eagle. Let's put the hands right up here. Just do some nice easy circles just to loosen up the upper back. Good. Wonderful. So yoga isn't a religion. It's not a religion. It's just, it's a, how can I explain it? It's just a discipline. You could say science, I suppose. Can you bring your elbows together? Like, I think ballet is the science of dance. Let's bring those elbows back as far as you can. Take this elbow, cross it over, you can touch your knee, go right ahead. That's good. And up. And then to the other side. Doesn't that feel good? And then we'll come back up slowly. Now, as far as the spinals, we only did 2 of them. We did spinal flexion and we did spinal extension, remember? Kind of flattening out that curved cervical area on the upper back. All right, so now let's do a rotation. What you're gonna do is you're gonna take this hand, cross it over, take this hand, and you're just gonna turn the body, and we'll go back to the other side. Open up that chest a little bit. You can call it a twist, I suppose, too. All right, and the other side, cross over, and just turn, and then open that chest area up. So this is spinal rotation. Another way to do that would be just holding your arms up and twisting as far back as you can. It straightens your back out too, which is good. It's a nice stretch. It's good for your posture. All the way back, good. And then we'll come back. Just relax, wonderful. Now the pigeon might be a little more challenging, just a little bit. And if you can't do it, don't worry about it. This is what we do. This is how we get into position for it. If you cannot get your leg up here, you can cross down at your ankle. So let's bring that up, good. Holding on here. And what this does is it opens up the hip a little bit. It's a really good stretch for the hip. So just look at the inside of your knee here. Put your hand right there and very gently push it down. Probably not going to be too comfortable, especially if you have arthritis in your hip. But it's still a good idea to keep it stretched out, because when we get stiff, we don't want it to get stiffer and stiffer. You want to keep it from going more and more. You want to open it up as much as you can. And in the beginning, it might be really uncomfortable, but then afterwards it won't. It will open a little bit easier. Take this hand right down there in the middle and hold on. This is also good for posture, and it's kind of easy because you can pull yourself up nice and straight and you're holding on. So this is a good one. I love this one. We're going to look up at that ceiling. Great. And look straight. And turn. And turn to the other side. Good. And back. Let's do the eardrop. Good. And then to the other side, nice and easy. If you can, pull that leg in a little bit more. Very gently push down. Now it's been up there for a while, so it might open a little bit easier. This can also be done lying down. All right, let's switch though. We have to do both sides. Sorry. Bring that leg up. This one is a little bit stiffer for me, and I can feel the arthritis in there a little bit. So very gently, I'm going to push down, and the more you do it, the easier it will get. Good. Put both hands here and just pull yourself up straight. Pull those shoulders down. Get that chin in, and that's where you should be. Have someone take a picture of you like this, and you'll see the difference when you have good posture. I know it's not easy, and we don't remember, but we can try, do the best we can do. When you think about it, especially when you're driving, if you're doing a lot of driving, pull that head right into the backrest. And yes, I know I've said it 1,000 times, and I'll probably say it 1,000 times more, because we do it for 5 seconds, and then what happens? We cave in again, right? All right, I'm gonna take this hand right in the middle and sit up as tall as I can. So this is the pigeon. Now, if we were on the floor, this leg would be in front like this, but this other leg would be back. So it's pretty ambitious, it really is. But you may be doing yoga on the floor right now, and I think it's great. We can also do it standing, and we're gonna do that in a minute. We're gonna do one more seated yoga. I'm gonna come forward, open those arms a little bit, arm out to the side. With this arm, I'm your mirror, so we're all on that side. And what you're gonna do is drop that arm down, if you can. Really open those legs up, and then bring that arm back as much. Now I can just about touch right there. I know it's not terribly comfortable. Do the best you can do. Maybe you can just do this. Put your hand on your knee. That's good, because you can still get that arm back. And we really need to open this up and flatten out that upper back, right? All right, arms out to the side. You can leave this arm right here for a while. Drop down again. This one I have to work a little bit harder. I'm going to come forward in the chair just a little bit. Bring that arm up and out to the side or back. Good. Wow, that's pretty ambitious. Like I said, great, great, great. Again, to open the chest up, flatten your back out, just put your hands here at your neck. You can either touch or clasp your hands back there, whatever you want to do. Get those elbows out as much as you can. Feet can be flat. And let's just do a little turn first. We're going to turn to one side and then slowly turn to the other side. Good. So your posture is good now, but we can make it better by just doing this. Get those elbows back. Doesn't that feel good? Maybe it doesn't, but if it really hurts back there, you may really be rounding now. So you can do something about it. I would say 99% of the time. If you've got osteoporosis and you've had fractures, that's a different story. There may be special exercises for that. All right, hands on your knees again, nice and straight. Grab some water before we stand up and do standing yoga. We have some nice postures, or asanas, they're called. And you know, there's a meditative side to yoga too, where we just sit and relax and try to blot the world out. Just be here. It's called mindfulness meditation, just being in the moment and trying to quiet that mind a little bit. I like the saying, meditation is not what you think. Isn't that interesting? I like that one. Well, you can think. You can think of one thing to focus on, or not just a thing, a word or a phrase or even a little prayer. You can be repeating things, but just keep your mind on that one thing. All right, but let's stand up without holding on. First thing we're going to do is the warrior pose. All right, I'm going to move my chair back a little bit. The warrior pose. There's a few versions of it. Arms out, feet open. This is not enough. They have to really be wide, so you might want to get behind your chair to be really safe. Just bring your arms out. Now, you're not used to holding your arms out, so you're going to feel it. You're really going to feel this. Why don't we start on this side right now? This toe or this foot is on an angle. Your other foot is almost straight. Arms are right out from the shoulders. You're going to turn your head and look at this hand. If that makes you feel funny, don't look at the hand. Look at whatever is comfortable. Bend that knee. Make sure the knee is an in or out. Make sure that foot is flat and the knee is over the ankle and just a little bit forward of that. Good. Pull that chin back. You should see yourselves. You look great. You really do. It's a nice pose. I love this one. Bring those arms down though. Just stay here for a few seconds. So this is the warrior. Bring those arms up again. And now we're going to do something called the Exalted Warrior pose. Just bring that arm down. Let it rest right there on the hamstring. Yes. And again, you may need to hold on to that chair. Bring that arm up. I love this one. This is going to make us taller and straighter and stronger and flexible. All right. What do you think? How did you do? But we have to do both sides, right? Feet apart again. Please get in back of the chair if you're concerned at all about falling. And here's one of my favorite poses. We're just going to do the same thing on this side. Pull that chin back in. Watch your posture. Bend that knee. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. My knee tends to go in, so I'm going to try to get it out there. I'm going to do a wider stance here. All right. Looking at this hand. Pull that chin in now. Good. So practice with that lunge. We're lunging now. Good. Bring those arms down. Take a little rest. And then we'll get ready for the Exalted Warrior. Arms out. Pull that chin in. Bend the knee. I'm going to bring that knee out a little bit. Nice and tall. And we're going to drop that down. And then you know what we're going to do. It's like a back bend. Reaching up. Pushing those hips forward a little bit. Looking up. If you cannot look up, just look straight. As long as you are moving. That's the important thing. The joy of movement. And down. How does that feel? I like that one. Now, if you need a break, just take it. And you can come back if you need some water or whatever. Because no one can see you. You can do whatever you want, right? All right. Again, let's do something with the feet apart. Good. This would be second position in ballet. Do you remember that? Arms out. and just cross over. Touch that knee if you can, slowly. The yoga poses are done slowly and held, sometimes for very long periods, but again, we only have a half an hour, so we'll come back up, nice and tall again, and cross over and touch that knee. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you can do that. Do you feel that stretch here? And then we'll come back up, and then we're gonna twist again. See if you can get that arm up or back, or both. Can you do both at the same time? I'm not sure. Come up. Remember, this foot is turned out. This one is fairly straight. All right, and you're gonna cross over. And then we'll come back up. Try to do it slowly. It should be relaxing. It's not a competition. We're just trying to take care of our bodies, improve our posture, our strength, our flexibility, right? All right, bring those feet together. A little bit of relaxation. You can do anything you want right here. Kick your feet out, lift your knees up. Just feels good. We can do our little stretch we did on the last show, which feels pretty good. Now there's something called the yoga tree, and it's really good for balance. Just be careful on this one. Do what you can do. So we're going to become trees. How do we do that? First position ballet is what? Yes, you all knew that, right? Good. All right, and all you're going to do, your feet do not have to touch. Your heels do not have to touch. You can open them up just a little bit and just lift the heel on that side. It doesn't really matter which side, but maybe we should all be on the same page. Prayer hands. Bring the foot in a little bit. And just lift your foot up, up. Lift it up for 1 second first. Up and down, right? Now try 2 seconds. 1, 2, whoops, and down. Just practice like this. Up and down, up and down. Good. It's usually done like this with arms all the way up and the leg comes all the way up there. So we're not ready for that, right? All righty, wonderful. So let's try the other side. This might be a little bit easier for you. Again, ballet first position, so those toes are turned out a little bit. All right, you're just gonna lift the heels, so you still have both feet on the ground. You're gonna pull it in, nice and tall, wonderful. Just lift up for 1 second, put it down. 2 seconds, put it down. Practice like that, okay? So bring that foot in nice and tall, lift up, and then we'll put it down. Try it again, up and down. And you'll see that you'll have more confidence if you keep doing that, up and down, and then you'll say, oh my God, it stayed there. I'm not doing very well. I never do when I'm on the scene here. Bring those arms up. Bend your knees and bring your arms back just for a nice stretch. Good. And then we'll come back up. All right, so that's the yoga tree. And I'll be giving you different poses or asanas from time to time. But if we could just master some of these first, that would be great. I would like you to get behind your chair if you're not already there. And I think today I'm going to put the chair over here. What do you think? Yeah. And I'm going to move this back a little bit for us. So I'll have more room. Good. Wonderful. All right, and all we're going to do is walk back. Just walk back. Good. See if you can flatten your back out a little bit. Some of you might be able to do just this, but try to concentrate and bring it down a little bit. We're going to flatten out that back. And this will be good for your posture, won't it? I like this one too. Nice and flat. I love yoga. Just one of the many things we can do for ourselves. Bring your arm up, reach for the sky, and do our little back bend here. Great. Now come forward again. Let that arm come down. Walk back, walk back, walk back. Keeping the back flat. Doesn't that feel good? I hope it does. And the chair is helping us to really flatten that out. Good. And then we'll come back up slowly. Good. Alrighty. Now what I'd like you to do is point your toe. Ball of the foot comes down. Bring that heel down, but push yourself up nice and straight. We do lunges in yoga, as you know. All right, see if you can let go with one hand. And then switch to the other side. Good, nice and tall. Can you let go with both hands and bring those arms up? And if you can't do this, bring them down here. That might be a little bit easier for you, right? Good. And then it'll come up again. Let's try the other side. You're gonna point, ball of the foot, then the heel. Feel a nice stretch in your calf muscle, and then pull yourself up first and then back for a good stretch. Wonderful, all right. And then we'll come back up slowly. Now what I'd like you to do is sit back in your chairs. We're just gonna relax for the last few minutes. I'm gonna bring my chair back. Grab some water if you need it. All right. And now you're gonna be able to hear the music a little better, and it's gonna relax you. Put on some nice music when you do yoga, and it will relax you. It does help. We're all dealing with different problems and anxieties, and yoga helps with that. So it's just wonderful. I just love it. It's been around for thousands of years too. I wonder when they started. It was probably in a cave where the monks sat for hours and hours, and maybe that's how yoga developed. They must have said, "Oh my God, I got a crick in my back," and they, because they sat like this probably, right, for long periods. So I believe that may be how it started. It's just a theory. So let's close our eyes. Let your chin drop down and relax. You can just let your legs come out straight if you want, and move your feet back and forth. Loosen up those legs a little bit. And this will relax you. Move your head from side to side. We're not sitting up straight now. We have the chair to help us do that. You can rest your arms on the arms of the chair. If you don't have arms in your chair, you can just let them stay here in your lap. And let that head come forward. Move your head from side to side. Now, you know that the yoga breath, and there are different ways of doing it. We're doing it, I think, the simplest way. And you're going to breathe up through your nose. Hold and breathe out. And as you breathe out, just let that head come forward. Now, again, we've got less than a minute left, unfortunately, but just try this on your own. When I sign off, you just stay where you are. And I hope you might have some music you can put on that's relaxing. You can find lots of music on your computer, on the radio, anywhere. And just for the next 5 or 10 minutes, try to do nothing. Try to set your mind on one thing, something that relaxes you, a beautiful scene, a lake, the mountains. We can't say fireplace anymore, it's getting warm, but, or a word like peace, peaceful, or babbling brook, whatever relaxes you. And you're doing yourself a favor if you can learn to relax like this. The yoga breath helps. So let's breathe in again together, up through the nose, holding that breath, and let your chin drop down. Good. And see if, like, for the next few seconds, even 10, 15 seconds, if you could actually clear your mind of all those things that drive you crazy. And here we go. And if you can hear me, I'm going to say bye for now. And we'll see you next time. And if you feel like staying in that chair, you just do it and be good to yourselves. We've got to find a time during the day to do nothing. Some people do too much nothing, don't they? And I will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye for now.